you mentioned, starting license, then going for your securities designations.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there's a oh man, whenever I think about going after the securities licensing, it kind of gives me the chills. You know what I mean? Like, talk to me about the value of adding those designations on, to your license. Like, what doorways have you seen open up from that? I know there's.
It's really just the information and being comfortable around it, and being able to share expertise that aligns with the media, because that's what anyone is going to want to talk about or hear. Can you speak on what I'm hearing in my day to day, on my commute, or in my newscast? What do you think about that? What should we do? And the answer is really that I haven't. I mean, I might be talking from an informed standpoint, but I haven't come across too many people who are just prospects, clients who are just so advanced that they needed me to recite, or I needed to have memorized this chapter from this Series 7 book. Like, it's really, really a lot of common sense, planning and placing, and really all you really need to do is continue to paint the big picture for them. Do you think taxes are high or low now? Do you know what tax bracket you're in? Do you think taxes are going to be higher or lower later?
We are right.
What makes sense? And then bringing it all back. Okay, if this, then that. Let's reallocate some of this here, so that down the road, during this logical trajectory. Did you see Don't Look Up? I'm probably making a lot of
I saw that one.
There's a meteor. What do you think is going to happen? Let's prepare for that.
Right.
Just really,
Right. No, absolutely. Like, when people, so for someone who is, getting their license now, would you recommend them, getting that securities designation, like going after it immediately? Would you say, hey, wait a couple of years, then do it, or wait till you have, kind of the clientele of the book of business to service it? What would be your thoughts on, kind of guiding someone to take that next step?
I would say wait on it. Yes, the annuity space is great, but you know what? Now I say it out loud, I have not done a rollover in like maybe 4 years. Yeah, interesting. And
you start thinking about it. You was like, I need to do some rollovers.
I remember the feeling, like, coming back into the office after my tests, and like, I want to place this business now. I can't wait. Who am I gonna call? But then, like, understanding the landscape, you might not need to get it yourself. What if you just start working with other advisors, another older advisor who has his license, and you can place business with him, and you guys can work with and off of each other.
Yeah. And doing business, not only having those designations, but you're doing business in a city like New York. It's, one of the biggest cities in the country. Lots of activity. Like, what is that climate like for your business?
When I started off, I had ingested and regurgitated all the dogma. I was prospect like you breathe. I was everywhere. There was no one who wasn't getting some of this work
right
on the line. I was just, and I had no fear. I didn't think about it twice. It was just natural. But then I started to realize this isn't, not everybody can come. Your skin folk aren't always your kinfolk. And not very few people like to be sold anything. So what I've evolved into now, I play a slow game. Actually, I've noticed from conversation today, the longer I'm engaging with someone, the easier the transition is into getting them to do what I want them to do. it's so like I can't even. I probably got to show you just the text thread from today. 'Cause it was. I was like, how on the earth did I just do that? That was amazing. Um, okay, because I have this business owner who I've known since probably mid 2020, and I didn't know what I was gonna do for him, if I could even do anything with him or anything. He was also pretty candid about the scope of his business. Um, and then today, just discussing something super not about it. I was like, yeah, we should, you can always do a buy sell.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I was like, oh, hold on, I got you right now. Yeah, yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. No, it's excellent, man. I mean it seems like at this point, this is really just it's not even it's not a job, it's not a career thing. It's really just like a part of your lifestyle, right?
I think, I think that's where the real value for people can really be held as let this be part of your identity, part of something that you can do for the people around you, or at the drop of a dime. Um, depending on the situation, you might not have to always be closing. You might be able to hone some other skills, derive other sources of income, and then derive a professional network of people with high value individuals who that you can just bring value to just with your energy alone,
Yeah.
and just your wealth of knowledge about money and business and things like that, and you can get close enough. And if when the opportunity to play some business arises, it'll be natural. And like, oh, you did this the whole time? Like, yeah, I own this. Oh, my guy. Okay, okay.
Boom. And right in there. And
Yeah.
you had some cool experiences. I mean, you worked in Madison Square Garden, you worked for Nike. I mean, you've done some really things that, people be like, man, I like to do that. I like to do that. But let me ask you this, like, how would you describe your life before you got licensed, before you got into the industry versus your life after you got licensed and you joined the industry?
Before, I mean, I've always been, I guess I always like to say I've always been calculated, but I know now I'm a lot more calculated. Trying and think 10 to 12 steps ahead. Like, okay, what are the consequences of this? Where could this go? What can I do here? What can this opportunity lead to for these people? So I'm a lot more calculated and strategic with with a lot of, well, I guess with money and as a whole. But I'm always looking now. I'm a lot more than I used to. I'm always ingesting information, and yeah, it has made me into a know-it-all. And you always think he's right. But I just happen to be right most of the time because I read it. I read the instructions. That's why it works. What's your problem?
Right. Say it ain't bragging if it's true.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's right. I know the stats. This is why this happens, and you have to just follow through.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you feel like the industry has, and I mean this like in an evolutionary kind of way, do you feel like the industry has changed you as a person, like grown
Oh
you as
yeah,
a person?
absolutely. Yeah, again, especially in realizing the intricacy and some of the things that a lot of the one percenters are doing with these assets. It's given me it makes me sit back and watch a lot more often.
Mm.
So I mean, honestly, we haven't had. I think they might be going back to having some of the conferences this year, but I know I haven't been to one since 2019. But I don't feel like I'm missing much. I would love to get back around people, but I like it here where I can just ingest it on my own and watch and and try and gauge for myself what the next move should be, or how to implement that in my own practice.